Hello, everybody. Are you ready? Okay, let's do this. We're going to be talking about Chile, about the Chilean ecosystem. So happy to answer your questions if you have some. I'm going to start to projecting. I'm going to start sharing my screen. So I hope you can see this. And if you not, could you please let me know? Okay. Let's start, guys. I'm the former executive director of Startup Chile, one of the main accelerator programs in Latin America and worldwide. And today, I'm the head of innovation at CORFO, is the Chilean Economic Development Agency, and we help you to boost innovation and entrepreneurship in our country. It's very important to say that Startup Chile and CORFO both depend on the government directly from the Ministry of Economy. So we have always a budget that depends directly from the government, okay? And when we talk about Chile, we are not talking about this Chile, but I don't know if you know this small and thin country that looks like a Chile, that is at the end of the world, literally in the South Pacific Ocean. And we're basically an island because we have the driest desert in the north. In the south, we have the Antarctica, we have the Andes and the Pacific Ocean, right? So we're literally very, very far away from you guys. And basically, why we are trying to boost innovation and entrepreneurship and why we are a startup hub today in Chile is basically because we started 15 years ago trying to change the Chilean mindset. And why this is so important for our culture, for our economy, because we have already 200 years of history and we basically depend on natural resources, right? So at the end of the 19th century, we were the top ones in the saltpeter exportation. What happened, the Chinese created the synthetic one and the entire economy failed. We are the leader of fruit exportation in Latam since the 80s. If you are eating salmon, it's probably that it comes from Chile because at the 90s, we have the salmon exportation. And I think we're the second or the third producer globally today. And in this current period of history, we are the main copper export in the entire world. So as you can see, we basically depend on natural resources, and this economy is based on high externalities, social and environmental ones, a low added value, right? So if we want to move into an economy based on innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, we want to change, we have to diversify and sophisticate our economic matrix, right? And just to compare with the OECD countries, when you talk about added value, we're talking about that per each kilogram that we use to produce any product or service, we are just generating $0.5. And the average of OECD countries generate up to 5 times that number. And countries like Finland generate up to $7 per kilogram of material that they are using, right? So as you can see, we are basically kicking or producing rocks, exporting fruits without added value. And on the other hand, we are trying to boost innovation and entrepreneurship, but for the last 15 years, we have a constant fall in the international rankings related to those topics, right? So we really, really need to boost the entire ecosystem today, right? And if we start to compare I'm sorry, this graph is in Spanish, the R&D investment compared with the OECD is super low. We are the lowest country too, right? So we have to generate a change of mindset if we want to change the Chilean culture. And adding to that, we have the highest inequality in the OECD countries too, right? So how can we change a culture? How can we change and reduce the inequality? How can we sophisticate and diversify our economic matrix? With innovation and entrepreneurship. And that's the reason why we are working so hard on that topic. And for the last 15 years, we have been working and learning a lot about that, right? And one of the things that we're working too is the social capital, because what's going on? How can we be innovators? How can we be entrepreneurs? How can we collaborate with each other to grow as a country if we don't have social capital? What is social capital? It's trust, it's cooperation, and it's reciprocity. If we are not able to change this, we cannot change an economy, right? So one of our main focus today that we are working very, very hard and deeply, it's about how can we increase the social capital of our country. We have to start with us, with people. We are the main game changers, right? So we have to start with us first. And that's the only thing with innovation, entrepreneurship, and changing social capital that can help us to boost our economy and change that paradigm that we are very basically an efficiency-driven economy into a one where are all the developed countries that is moved and boosted by innovation, right? So we are working, as I already told you, very hard on that topic. And the clock is ticking, right? As I told you, we are a young economy. We already have 200 years, but we're very slow. We're very traditional. We're very vertical. We don't like too much to take risks, right? So when you talk about the innovation entrepreneurship, is right the opposite, right? So how can we change that with all the things that are going on and changing our social capital? Because today we are in a very, very good moment to change paradigms. Why? Because we're living through a crisis right now. A lot of people can think Rocio is completely crazy. How can you change a country if it's in crisis right now? It's exactly because of that. Because crisis can change the mindset of an entire country, the people, their culture, right? Because we started in Chile at the end of 2019 with a social crisis. Now, globally, we have the COVID, right? A lot of SMEs and entrepreneurs have the challenge of the digital transformation. Now, mainly, we are currently going on through an economic crisis. And finally, and last one, and maybe one of the most important ones, is how can we deal with climate change, right? So we have to be prepared. We have to use innovation to change our culture, to change our mindset, not just to survive, but also to reconvert our economic matrix and finally dynamize our economic matrix. Everything, it's in parallel, okay? We have a lot of companies that are already doing very well. We have a lot of companies that are trying to survive. So as a team, we have to work together to make this process better, to create the entire country as a new economy, right? And to do that, as I already told you, we're working very hard on social capital, but we are, as I told you already, we have to change the mindset of the Chilean people, right? And how are we doing that? We are boosting and we're trying to change that, promoting the growth mindset. What is it? Is that we like to change, we are eager to new knowledge, we are eager to challenges, because as I told you, the Chilean culture is very vertical, and it's very gray and very square, and we're trying to change that too, right? Because we have to be open to new things. And how do we do this in the Chilean ecosystem? The institutionality of innovation has three main pillars. We do this with three main organizations. It depends what do you want to achieve. If you want to boost innovation based on scientific and technological knowledge that is mainly basic sciences, right? It depends on the Ministry of Science and Technology. If you want, with innovation and entrepreneurship, boost productivity, competitiveness, and boost the different businesses, that depends on us, on CORFO and the Ministry of Economy. And on the other hand, if you want to change your professionals, your people, you are going to work through the Ministry of Education, right? So we are working very deeply with these three main organizations in different aspects of our culture to boost the innovation and entrepreneurship mindset of Chile, right? And what do we do specifically in CORFO? We are working very, very hard with entrepreneurs to boost, as I told you, innovation and entrepreneurship, but with focus on productiveness, on competitiveness, on developing new companies. And just to give you an idea, we already have more than 80 years, and we were created with the purpose of change the economic matrix. We were created after a huge earthquake, after the Great Depression of 1920 something, right? So we are used to work under crisis, and even when we have 80 years, we are constantly changing and taking all the things that are going on to boost and change the culture, right? So our three main pillars are mainly productivity, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and the way of doing businesses, of course, change. So we are worried about the economic matrix, but also you have to create positive externalities in terms of social and environmental impact, right? And how do we do this in the ecosystem? It depends, right? If you can imagine a pyramid, in the base of the pyramid, you have tons of entrepreneurs, you have SMEs, you have traditional organizations mainly that want to change. So we're working in sustaining innovation with them to change them, to help them to survive, to reconvert their businesses. And in the top of the pyramid, you have startup, but less than the other ones, right? But you have more sophistication, more return of investment, and you have more innovation and sophistication, right? So we are working with all the companies from all sizes, from all ages, to change an entire economy based on innovation and entrepreneurship, right? And of course, we'll have to do this in a collaborative way, right? And how can we help you guys? Maybe if you're looking at me from Europe, you can apply to Startup Chile, of course. But if you want to come to Chile, you can also incorporate your company here. And CORFO support is basically on grants, that is equity-free programs, on credits as a second-tier bank. And thirdly, and it's a very, very good one, is R&D tax incentives, right? So we have the tools to help you to boost your businesses from Chile to the entire world and to help local companies to boost their businesses, right? And we're not just giving money. Of course, money is super important, but we're also giving support. More than 60% of the projects fail, not because of the lack of money, it's because of the lack of connection, perks, or training capabilities, right? So we're always providing, plus the money that you can get from CORFO or Startup Chile, also support, right? So we went from a bank to a smart money organization. And we use the collaboration as the key factor to boost our ecosystem. It's very important to be connected with entrepreneurs, with investors, with universities, with government, with co-work spaces, corporations, mentor support services, and media. And you cannot forget media because you have to create domino effects. You have to start to showing all the successful cases or the failures too, so people can get the spirit of innovation, get the spirit of the entrepreneurial mindset and trying to change things, right? So it's very, very important for us to use the collaboration as a key factor to change our entire ecosystem. And why we are so focused on collaboration is because we know, and is very, very, we have a report here from Harvard Business Review, that the innovation based on ecosystem can multiply by 3 the impact of your action. So why are you going to work alone if you can work with others and multiply the effect of the things that you are doing, right? So our main call in the ecosystem, as I told you, is to work with social capital, right? trust, collaboration, cooperation. And if you collaborate, you can multiply by 3 the effect. One of the main challenges that we have, of course, is venture capital. So we created as a government, and the policy, the entrepreneurial and innovation policy has 15 years. We started changing the mindset of the people, right? So we have a lot of entrepreneurs, we have a lot of seed capital, but when the startups start to grow, we lack of VCs for Series A's and B. And what's going on now is that a lot of startups are traveling abroad to get their funding. So if you are from Europe, if you want to invest in our startups, we have a lot of talented people that can boost your money and make the Latin American market and the worldwide market available for you guys. So I highly recommend you to connect me. I can give you my email and everything if you need to connect with the local ecosystem. And finally, how are the ways to collaborate with the Chilean ecosystem? Of course, it's CORFO, and you already have me. I'm going to give you my email, but also we have 3 different organizations. The first one, as you know, is Startup Chile, the main accelerator program in Latin America that depends on CORFO. And the second, and you can apply to Startup Chile always to be part of the community. We have Invest Chile. Invest Chile has offices around the globe. So if you want to come to Chile and you need connections in Chile, Invest Chile can help you, right, to do that. And if you know maybe local entrepreneurs from Chile that wants to open businesses abroad, so maybe in Europe, we also have a lot of Pro Chile offices around the world helping local entrepreneurs to go abroad with their businesses. And finally, not less important, we also have a visa tech, right? What is it? If you want to come to Chile, or if you already have a company in Chile and you want to attract foreign talented professionals, you can use that visa too. And you can use it through Invest Chile or Pro Chile or Startup Chile. So if you want to attract talent, or if you want to come to Chile, you can use that visa tech. It's a fast track for in the tech field, right? We need tech talented people coming here. So let's make businesses together. And you already have my email here. Happy to share with you some thoughts. Happy to connect you guys. The Chilean ecosystem is now very blooming here. That needs backup, that needs foreign markets, and Europe is one of the main ones. So happy to share with you some thoughts and comments or answer your questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see you now. I couldn't see you before. Let me see. Okay, so I think we're just in time, right? So what we learned today is basically that you need to change the Chilean mindset. That we as Chilean are very square, gray, and we had to change that. And that's the reason why for the last 15 years, we have been working on that. We created a Startup Chile. We have CORFO to support entrepreneurs and innovation with grants, because the main focus of us is change the Chilean mindset and an entire ecosystem. So I'm very, very happy to be here again. Thank you so much to the organization. Good luck with the event, and see you soon. You never know when or where, right? Bye-bye. Have a great day.